What's going on, community? Another interesting week. So let's see, where do we start? We talk about some of the regulations. So we had a lot go on. FEDNow came live. There's a lot of back and forth. RH actually put out a tweet saying that he didn't think it was too big of an issue. He kind of sees it, I guess, probably the way some people see it, it's just an improvement on like the current payment rails, improved speed, instant kind of finality on transactions. There's a lot of interesting things. I think most of us are concerned with sort of where it allows extra controls to be placed in. Some of where you can see like certain fintechs is something that we've seen a few other players in the space complain about. A few of the other fintechs that are like outside of the US getting early access. You can kind of already see that there's extra controls in FEDNow, which is what a lot of people have concerns. A lot of people basically kind of call it a beta run for certain CBDCs, especially on the wholesale side. There's a big little difference there between like wholesale and retail CBDCs. Again, it can get into kind of shades of gray. Retail is where most people are concerned as far as like CBDC issues, but there's still quite a bit of concerns when it comes to the wholesale side and just adding extra control to people you don't really want to have control now, right? But again, there is some improvements. There is some pros and cons to this. This also played into what we saw with like Signature and Silvergate. They had 24-hour payment systems. So again, it's interesting to see how some of these pieces are fitting together. We are seeing the Bitcoin ETFs move forward. So again, I think I touched on it last week. Jacobi Management has it approved. They're going to be launching that very soon over in Europe. But there's more and more progress on what we're seeing with Fidelity and BlackRock and a few players moving forward with Bitcoin spot ETFs in the US. So again, that's pretty wild stuff. With the XRP decision, there's been kind of a re-push from Loomis and Torres and a few of the other senators here in the US to change some of the regulation, approve things. There's a few different ones that we can probably touch on. It's a little longer form, so I'll probably drop some more content on that later this week on the long form of just kind of where we're at with the XRP decision and kind of the immediate consequences and what people are progressing. But I would say that a lot of this is moving in a very positive way. So for once we finally have some positive regulatory news out of the US, I still think that, UAE, Hong Kong, and then even with MiCa, there's a lot of pros coming out of there. I got a chance to talk with Adrian from Bird Nest. Very, very savvy guy. He's really big in the Bitcoin space. He travels quite a bit in Europe. We touched a bit on MiCa, so that podcast episode will probably drop here in the next couple of weeks. That's some really great content to look forward to. And we're talking about some of this, multi-jurisdictional world, not just for crypto, but for individuals in crypto space. So there's some great content there. And then for PulseChain, cleared 30,000 validators. I think that's a really, really big piece. That's 30,000 validators. Like that's a huge, huge amount for this early on. It's great to see that amount of like community just revelry, especially when, again, as far as we know, kind of officially, none of those are from the core dev team. So to see, again, it's not 30,000 individuals, but 30,000 validators. That's a lot of pulse off the market. People trying to prop up and actually manage and run that network. It's a really cool deal. So I think we should be proud of the community on that side. That's again, I'm championing these guys quite a bit, but it's a big kudos to RH Max and Gamma and Feder and a lot of these guys that are out here really doing all that great work when it comes to the validator side. Pretty powerful stuff to see. We're getting closer to DeFi summer with ourselves, so that's something that, again, I know everybody's really excited about. So our audits are all handled. Halborn did a great job. They're the ones handling for Fetch. Fetch is going to be this big piece, so I know everybody's when. They feel like Pulse has been out forever. Yes, Pulse hasn't even been out 90 days. Like, we're just getting here. We're in that launching phase. So Fetch is going to come again, kick off DeFi summer. We're going to see a ton of projects roll right after that. I'm pretty excited about all this. Again, I know that a lot of that tumultuousness, some anxiety. I think it'll be really cool to see how everybody revels around the Austin meetup that Matti's planning. So kudos to Matti again. He does not get enough credit for running events. Event management is not easy. It's not even that fun unless that is really your baby, and he does a great job. So cheers to him. If you're going to be in the Austin area, make sure you guys reach out to me. A lot of the people in the space are going to be down, but I'll be happy to link up and talk with everybody who can make it down. And then again, the premiere, the highest of stakes will be airing that same time. It'd be incredible to see. I'm going to go out and watch it with a lot of the people here in Austin. If you haven't grabbed your ticket, I believe there's still some that were with Matti. That's something we should also really get behind. There's just people that have talked about covering seats and make sure these stadiums are full, and even trying to go internationally. So make sure we're backing those guys. Like, content creators are everything. Like, they do a huge amount in the space. Whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent, we should make sure we're supporting people that have a voice of something valuable to say. And it doesn't matter if we agree with every single thing they say. It's important to still back content creation. So the highest of stakes is coming. That'll be a big push. Again, we're in our home stretch, finishing up with audits with the LL, setting our day here in the next couple of weeks. And man, I'm telling you, it's going to kick off DeFi summer. And I think that when we see this first wave of projects, the amount of interest that brings, the projects themselves, everybody feeling they have all their cards in their hand, the highest of stakes video dropping, like that's a lot of momentum. So everybody take a nice deep breath. Make sure you're hitting your DCAs if you're still trying to buy. If not, make sure you're keeping your hands strong. Don't be getting soft in a bear market on us. But again, we have a huge amount coming over this next little bit. So everybody stand fast, community. Let's keep reveling. I'm really excited about the documentary. Excited to see all y'all in Austin. So we'll obviously have a ton of content between now and then, some podcast episodes. V7 and Tangent are going to be doing some cool stuff this week. Got a little extra coming out, trying to reach outside of the community. And man, can't wait to see y'all talk again. And hopefully I'll get to catch a bunch of y'all in Austin. So y'all be safe.